We just finished day 9 of the Blitz. I can't believe it. I never thought I was gonna make it to this day. When I first made it to day 1, I'm like, holy shit, bro. I'm gonna end up committing suicide. But we ended up making it. You know, we got 1 day left. Tomorrow's gonna be pretty easy. All we're gonna be doing is hitting up all the follow-ups. So all that means is these are people's doors that we knocked on, and they're like, I want your stuff, but for some reason I can't do it for XYZ reason. So we're just basically gonna be hitting up all those people. Basically, just clean up crew. We're gonna come in there, get SEAL Team 6. No, we're killers. Gonna get in and out. No witnesses. Gonna get some dealios, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And guys, I gotta say, day 9 is the day it all clicked. You know, I was talking to my mentor in sales when I first got into this. And he's like, you know, Aaron, I'm really excited for you because he said you're gonna grow so much as a person and as a rep from this Blitz. And my God, he is right. You know, when I came to here, my demeanor originally was like, I'm just trying to get through this shit. And every day I do it, I really learned the importance of your mind, dude. Because like before I was like kind of upset, but like today I can generally say I generally enjoyed knocking. The entire day I was super happy, like genuinely happy, and people could sense my energy on the door. No one was mean because they couldn't be, because my energy was so addicting. As soon as they talked to me, they're like, oh my God, this guy is pretty cool. And that was another thing. So for me, you know, I learned that, you know, don't get me wrong, a script is important, but if all the reps are using a script, then if you don't use a script, you're actually more likely to perform better. Because, for example, the other day I knocked on the door, the guy's like, I've heard it all. I've heard net metering, I've heard smart grid project, I've heard grid hardening, I've heard it all. And they slammed the door on my face. And yesterday was rough. But then I learned really how to master your mind. Don't get me wrong, door to door is like an emotional roller coaster. Some days are easy, some days are hard. Today was an easy one, tomorrow might be hard, I don't know. But there's one thing I've learned, and that is the importance of your demeanor. Because if you are super happy and stuff like that, it's hard for people to be mean to you. I mean, just think about it. When you go into a room and you go near someone that's like, they have negative energy, you don't even want to be around them. Same exact thing with door to door, like same exact opposite. And it's funny because I was talking to my manager and I ended up sending him a voice memo. He's like, dude, before you're knocking on doors, you're like huffing and puffing. He's like, even if you're faking it, people can sense that it's not genuine, which is probably why you're not seeing success. And then day I was talking to my assistant manager, and he was like, we were role playing, and he was like, dude, you know, like it's good and all, but he's like, even when you're just role playing, like I like literally am checking out. And like if I'm checking out, I know already you're gonna say, what do you think's happening in the homework when you talk to them? And I then thought of him, I'm like, yeah, dude, I mean, you gotta be probably right, because I haven't gotten any results really. Literally every single day of this Blitz, I've been bageling. Sorry, I'm outside, I'm freaking fighting mosquitoes. So I've just been bageling, like for those, excluding the one appointment I got with the help of like a 10-year guy. I literally haven't done anything myself, and it's really been killing me. And today I'm like, you know what, let me just listen to what Colton is saying, because, you know, obviously what I'm doing is not working. I mean, I've been doing this now for 8 hours a day, knocking 100 doors every day, talking to at least 25 people, 20 people, and not seeing any results. So obviously it's a me problem, right? And like, I'm mature enough to know that. So, you know, I ended up talking to him today in the car. Listen, just take his advice. It's like, bro, dude, just ask more questions. Just make it supernatural. Like, make it a conversation. Like, if you feel that they're checking out, it's probably because they are. Like, you want to ask questions so you can keep them engaged, and ask them questions about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. Basic ones, like, literally this is all I've been doing. I've been asking the same questions all day and made all the difference. Okay, what made you choose Duke? I never had a choice. How long you been living here? No matter what they say, I'm like, if they say like 2 years, okay, so you're basically a celebrity. Or if they say I've been living here for 10 years, I'm like, so you're a celebrity at this point. I'm like, everyone must know you. And then after that, they didn't talk about that. I'm like, okay, then you would agree that over the past 10 years, you've obviously seen the electric bill go up, right? And they're like, yeah, I have. I'm like, perfect. And then from there, I'm like, and then here's this rate increase. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but the rate just went up 38%. That's insane, right? And they're like, oh my God, oh my goodness. I'm like, oh my goodness is right. I'm like, so if you had to give like a ballpark estimate, I mean, what are you just throwing down the toilet every month to the utility company? And they're like, $250. I'm like, okay, $250, bust on my calculator. I times that number they're paying now by the rate increase. I'm like, okay, so this time next year, you're gonna be using the same exact amount of energy, and instead of paying $250, you're gonna be paying, you know, I don't know, $320. I'm like, are you like, you're literally paying more for the same exact thing? I'm like, is that fair? They're like, no, that's not fair. That's bullshit. I'm like, exactly. I'm getting them all fired up. And dude, today was completely different. Like, when I was talking, I felt like I was scripted, and I felt like they knew, which is why I wasn't seeing getting results. I was literally going the script to the T. And dude, it's funny because one of the top performers, one of the things when he revealed his script, it was literally only 5 paragraphs. That's it. And it's more of just an outline. So what I learned is sales is pretty simple. No matter what, you have to be able to break preoccupation. That just means whatever they're doing in their home, you need to like get their attention to show that what you're doing is more important than their TV, because you're not competing with the other door guys that came there. You're competing with the TV. You're competing with their kids. You're competing with the dog, because all these things are trying to get their attention, and you have to prove to them that what you're doing is more important. So I learned that breaking preoccupation is super important. Then from there, building pain. From there, you provide a solution. You then, break preoccupation, show them the problem, then provide a solution, or like show them like why what they're doing now isn't going to work. I don't really have the steps memorized. I mean, I have the exact formula. Every single time I basically start off the conversation with saying, like, hey, did you end up getting this notice? It's just about the wood poles. And from there, I then basically go on to them saying how they're switching out the wood poles to steel, and then just so when we have storms, we won't lose power. Then from there, I then say the problem, which the problem is Duke is increasing the rates 38% by the end of 2025. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, you're paying more for the same exact thing. And then from there, I'm like, okay, I provide the solution, which is solar. And then from there, I then provide like context before I get the bill, because my job is just to set up the appointment. So from there, I start to build power. I start to like build power in the idea of them potentially going solar. But then at the end, you take it all away. You're like, oh no, you can't have that cookie. I don't even know if it'll qualify. Which is true, I don't know if it'll qualify. But also what you're doing is you're creating like you're creating scarcity. And then at the end, you just set the appointment. And then from there, the closure then comes in and closes the deal, and you then get paid. And that's really all I did today. I just built rapport through strong questioning. You know, I learned that from Jordan Belfort, but I never actually really started to live it until today, and I can tell you it made all the difference. It's like, don't try to be fake. Just build rapport through your amazing questioning. You know what I mean? And I learned the more I talk about myself, the more people trust me, because I don't just seem like some guy. They're like, okay, so this guy, you know, everyone always knows that I just moved here 4 weeks ago. He lives in New York, and, you know, that's the one thing they always know. Like, they always know I'm young. Like, I don't try to hide it. Like, for the longest time, I used to, like, try to lie about my age. But I learned is the more authentic you are, the more people respect you. Because I think at the end of the day, whether someone likes me or not, they can respect the fact that I'm out here working, you know, in something that most people consider to be hard. Like, a lot of people have respect for door-to-door salesmen. Like, they may not like them as, like, an entity, but they all respect the hustle. Like, I've even had people say it all the time. Like, I've really, like, no soliciting signs. Like, these guys are, like, people that don't like salespeople, which is why they have the sign that says no soliciting. And, you know, even when I talk to them, they're like, yo, man, like, I respect the hustle. So, like, it's just huge. End of the day, like, my thing is, if they respect you, that's more than enough. So I'm going to keep this pretty short because I can sit here and rant on this all day. But day 9 of the Blitz, I've grown so much as a person. I really can't articulate in words. And I've really been learning the power of your mind. Until you master your mind, you will not achieve anything. You know, I can't lie. I'm starting to fall in love with this shit. I knew I was starting to fall in love with it, but I'm really in here because I'm like, when I'm on the doors, I can't wait to get off. But as soon as I get off, I can't wait to get back on. It's just like wrestling. Like, I remember when I first got into wrestling, I was literally the worst of the worst, you know, and then after that, after I got a taste of victory, it's just a never-ending game. It's like, okay, I gotta work harder so I can become better, so I can get more W's. And then as soon as you think you're about to get, as soon as you think you're starting to become the best, you get humbled, and then you start all over again. But every single time, you get higher and higher and higher and higher. You know, sales is like a stock. The more you develop as a person, the more money you make. But if you don't grow as a person, you don't make more money. And if you stop growing, then your stock starts to decline because you start to forget the things you learn because you're not constantly sharpening the saw. So that's all I have to say. I've really learned a ton from this Blitz. I really love sales. It's not about the money, but it's about the person I'm becoming. I heard this quote a while ago. I can't remember the guy's name, but he said, become a millionaire, not for the money, but for the person you'll become. And that's so true. I always wanted to be a millionaire, and I always just thought it was because of money. And now that I'm on the road, and like I've never been this close in my entire life, I really realize that it is more about the person you become than the money. Because it's amazing, because as I start to expose myself to more opportunities, and I start to expose myself around people that make more money, I'm starting to find more people that think like me. And it's not a coincidence. It's just because successful people do things that normal people don't do. And I can sit here and rant, but I'm really extremely grateful for this opportunity, because, you know, in Florida's rough, guys. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It's really expensive. I mean, we alone spend $3,000 a month on housing, and there's like not even a lot of us. I think it's really small too. It's only like maybe 1,000 square feet, something like that. Like, that's insane. $3,000, I think. It might be a little bigger than that, but it's not huge. Maybe 1,500 square feet. I really don't know. It's not that big though, for how many people there are. But my point is, like, I see homeless people all the time. I always talk to people all day because, you know, my job, and they're talking about how they're struggling for money. And, you know, I can't really articulate how blessed I am. I mean, even now, some people that I know, literally, they don't have anything, and they're out here giving it their all. So, I mean, I could really sit here and go all day, but I really am extremely grateful to have a supportive family, to have money in the bank, to have made a sale, to have had the opportunity to invest in my education and grow so much as a person. You know, I really am, and I can't wait to give all back. You know, my thing is, for every single dollar I make, I'm going to give at least 10%. It has nothing to do with Christianity. I don't believe in anything, but it just has to do with what's right. And my goal is, ultimately, once I get a certain amount of money, it's just to give away it all, and then from there, just to live off my assets, live off my assets, and then give away the rest of the money, if that makes sense. I'll explain that more in another video, but I can sit here and go on and on. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Really, because I know only a select few of you have been watching these videos, and those are the people that I care about the most. So I just want to say thank you so much. And for the people that are watching this while you're on your journey, because you're watching this 5 years later, like 5 years in the future, I just want to know, I'm going to tell you, man, watch my videos, and you're going to see the person that I have become, and just know it wasn't easy, and that's what made it worth doing. Well, I wish you the best of luck. And if there's something that scares you, it's a sign you need to do it. I'll see you. I'll see you at the top.